Princess Diana's alleged fury with the Queen over divorce from Prince Charles. Princess Diana was extremely unhappy with the Queen's decision. Princess Diana's former butler, Paul Burrell, has claimed that Diana never wanted a divorce from Prince Charles, and was furious when she heard that the Queen had issued an order for the couple split. Paul, who has claimed that Diana said he is the only man she ever trusted, said, "The princess tried to make her marriage work, and she never actually wanted a divorce." According to Paul, Diana said, "I'll have a separation, but I don't want to be divorced. For the children's sake, I want to remain a family unit." But, Paul insists that the Queen wouldn't hear of this. He explained that in December 1995, the Queen wrote to a letter to Diana and Charles which ordered them to divorce. "For the children's sake, I want to remain a family unit." But, Paul insists that the Queen wouldn't hear of this. He explained that in December 1995, the Queen wrote to a letter to Diana and Charles which ordered them to divorce. The princess was furious, he says. She said, "This is my marriage, not theirs. It's nothing to do with the church, it's to do with me and Charles and the children." In the very end, she had to succumb to a divorce, he added. Their divorce was finalized in August 1996. A tell-all book which digs up rumors of the Duke of Edinburgh's mistresses has delved even deeper into the prince's life with explosive allegations. It reveals how just the mention of Diana's name, towards the end of her marriage to Prince Charles, was enough to send him into a tirade. According to the book, he once raged if Diana wanted to get out of the royal family she should get out and stay out. And it was a ballistic Philip that had the final say on her and Charles' marriage, spelling the end of years of hatred by ordering his wife to demand they divorce. But the book, My Husband and I, The Inside Story of 70 Years of Royal Marriage by respected royal watcher Ingrid Seward, reveals how Philip's hatred caused an angry rift between him and the Queen. She felt Diana was hard-working, and despite casting doubt over her as the marriage started to crumble, felt sympathy for the doe-eyed princess. The book does reveal, however, that the Queen was deeply suspicious of Diana's Hollywood-type glamour and the way she would use it to manipulate public opinion. Yet the Queen is softer than she can appear, the book, being serialized by the Daily Mail, reads. When it became clear that Diana had given interviews for Andrew Morton's infamous biography, which exposed the misery of her marriage in searing detail, her mother-in-law couldn't bring herself to condemn her. She told Philip that she had sympathy for Diana's predicament, but this didn't go down well. In truth, he was incensed. As always, Philip articulated his views forcefully and accused the Queen of procrastinating on the question of whether Charles and Diana should divorce. The Queen had always believed in deferring to Philip as the head of the family. But for once in their own long marriage, they were at loggerheads, and he was powerless to change her mind. Surprisingly, though, letters exposed by the book reveal Philip once also felt sympathy for Diana when news of Charles having an affair with Camilla Parker Bowles came to light in the royal household. He also tried reaching out to his unhappy daughter-in-law by writing her dozens of letters, the book reads. In one of these, he told her that he wished to do my utmost to help you and Charles to the best of my ability. But I am quite ready to concede that I have no talent as a marriage counselor. To start with, the letters, which he signed Pa, were very sympathetic. He said that he knew firsthand the difficulties of marrying into the royal family and seemed to place much of the blame for her marital problems on Charles. We do not approve of either of you having lovers, he said in one letter. Charles was silly to risk everything with Camilla for a man in his position. We never dreamed he might feel like leaving you for her. I cannot imagine anyone in their right mind leaving you for Camilla. Such a prospect never even entered our heads. But his efforts were to no avail, and it was in 1992 when the Andrew Morton book, Diana, Her True Story, came to light, turning Philip's sympathy into fury. Having based the whole of their royal lives on obligation, discretion and duty, they'd never thought for one moment that their unhappy daughter-in-law would resort to airing her dirty linen in such a public way. One of his fiercest comments was, "Can you honestly look into your heart and say that Charles's relationship with Camilla had nothing to do with your behavior towards him in your marriage?" He expressed concern about Diana's bulimia and acknowledged it could have been responsible for some of her behavioral patterns. But he also told her she hadn't been a caring wife and that, while she was a good mother, she'd been too possessive with her sons. The Queen ordered the pair to begin official divorce proceedings in 1995, and it was all because she felt Princess Diana's bombshell interview with Martin Bashir was a betrayal to her and the royal family. The groundbreaking interview was watched by more than 20 million people when it aired on the BBC, and divulged details about Charles and Di's marriage, as well as affairs. Diana admitted her own infidelity with writing instructor James Hewitt, and also spoke about Prince Charles' well-known affair with his former lover, Camilla Parker Bowles. The chat was remembered worldwide for one line in particular, where Diana told the presenter, "There were 3 of us in that marriage, so it was a little crowded." Researchers working on the Royal House of Windsor documentary said the interview proved a step too far for the Queen, The Express reported. It was the last straw for the Queen, who was allegedly furious at Diana for breaking royal protocol and sharing such private information. It's claimed she viewed it as a scandal, heaping shame on the royal family, and was the catalyst for her to step in. The documentary said, "It was the Queen who felt the most betrayed and acted the most ruthlessly. She sent Diana a rare letter telling her that she and Charles should now divorce." After marrying in 1981, cracks in Charles and Di's marriage had appeared by the end of the decade. It was reported that in 1989 Diana had confronted her husband over his affair with his former girlfriend, Camilla Parker Bowles. In 1992, a book was released, written by Andrew Morton, called Diana, Her True Story. The explosive book revealed Diana's unhappiness to the point of suicidal thoughts. And it also lifted the lid on her marital problems, including both of their affairs. It was reported that after the publication, the Queen and Prince Philip tried to broker reconciliation between the two parties, with no success. Their relationship deteriorated, and in 1992 then Prime Minister John Major announced the couple had separated amicably. But following the Martin Bashir interview, the Queen sent both parties a letter on December 20. Separation was seemingly not enough, and she advising them to divorce. The pair began proceedings, and the divorce was finalized on August 26, 1996. In more news, Princess Diana used to put on a fake voice and prank call people with silly names from the phone book. And Princess Diana's psychic pal says the late royal will talk to Meghan Markle's baby as she does to Princess Charlotte, and says she's glad Doria is there to step into the breach. Plus Meghan Markle wears Princess Diana's butterfly earrings and gold bracelet as her white dress crashes designer Karen G's website.